So of course, this is the spoiler warning for the Season 8 and possibly the comics. Actually, definitely the comics. So with that out of the way, I wanted to talk about what AMC is doing with Negan in these last 3 episodes. So if you've read the comics, or somewhat aware of them at least, you know how important it is for Negan to be at the hilltop at this point in the story. There are no larger battles that should take place in this show based on the comics that they're following. The hilltop is the final showdown, but as this is episode 13, and there are 16 in this season, it seems AMC is going to likely still have the same overall plot of the comics for this part in the stories, but split up in order to fit in the more show-based characters like Jadis and Carol, and also to just fill up the 16 episode package for season 8. But before I get into it, I want to make a quick comment on the synopsises that are released. In the last episode we just watched, episode 12, we had this synopsis. And here's the one for the next episode. So whoever's writing these synopsises likes to use the same repeated words over and over. Words like discoveries and unexpected visitors. And from that, you know, if you've watched episode 12, you know the unexpected visitors is obviously the saviors. So while you're watching episode 13, whatever heartbreaking discoveries are made is referring to will give you some intuition as to what a Heap's prisoner makes a discovery is talking about. The heartbreaking discovery could be that all the people that were attacked after the battle in the next episode or during an intermission of the battle are all infected and are going to die. After all, the show has been continuously showing us scenes of the saviors using this new idea. Negan carrying around a bucket always swirling Lucille in it, Negan giving the speech to the saviors, which was sort of an unnecessary scene. There are a lot of scenes of them using this idea. So the entire purpose of that is to be, while we're watching, they want us to be waiting on the reaction from the hilltop after the battle. So I don't expect Simon or any of the other saviors to actually let everyone know what they're doing with their weapons. If you think about it, from the last episode, Negan and his convoy heading directly to the hilltop and Rick sidelining him, smashing him into the side, that's a perfect metaphor for what AMC is doing to this storyline in the comics. Not that it's bad, it's just different. Rick's symbolizing AMC and he's smashing Negan a little bit off story so that they can fit in 3 more episodes. It's kind of upsetting, but at the same time, at least we get more Walking Dead before a very long break. So back to my point, Negan and Rick are nowhere near the hilltop. This is likely not the proper battle at the hilltop from the comics. So the synopsis for Still Gotta Mean Something says a Heap prisoner makes a discovery. That's the episode after the next one, which means the TV show is doing something very different with the hilltop battle. Negan is still going to be a prisoner throughout the entire next episode. He could have no scenes at all, or if any, just one. This is the TV show's way of stretching the story out a little bit over the last 3 episodes. So episode 14, Negan as a prisoner is going to make a discovery of some kind. In the last episode, all Negan found out from Rick was that Simon massacred the community residing in the Heaps. That doesn't mean Negan believes Simon betrayed him yet, only that he really fucked up. So if that's not the big discovery, it has to be something from Jadis. After all, Jadis really has absolutely no further story in the comics, which the show is based on. It could be finally some backstory with Jadis, like an explanation for the helicopter pad, or perhaps Jadis will tell Negan that Simon is likely planning to also destroy the hilltop, like he did with the Heaps. Simon, after all, wants to cut his losses with the revolting communities. That's his entire thing for the later portion of this season. Regardless of what it might be, Negan cannot stay prisoner to Jadis. He will either be let go under some agreement with her, or he will escape killing Jadis to end her storyline. So the very last episode is called Wrath, sort of an artistic thing, I guess, since the first episode in this season is called Mercy. And this season has been showing Rick say that his mercy prevails over his wrath. Anyways, the point I'd like to make here is that in the comics, Rick is more or less reasoning with Negan by the end of the battle. He sees a future of peace between the saviors and the other communities, where there's a barter system. But all this is undercut when Rick slices Negan's throat, badly hurting him but not killing him, and ending the war. I think the wrath is likely referring to Rick's wrath in doing that after all that Negan has done to him and his friends. I would hope AMC won't make that moment, or a lead up to that moment, one of their infamous cliffhangers. So basically for episodes 13 and 14, I think we're going to get episodes more or less filling time until another battle at the hilltop. A final one that can take place that involves Rick and Negan. Based on all of the synopsises that were released, Carol is looking in the forest for someone, Rick and Morgan are hanging out, saviors are still a looming threat after the battle in episode 13, Daryl and Rosita are not exactly doing anything relating to the saviors. I imagine Eugene, Negan, Dwight, all of the main characters from the Sanctuary are going to eventually find their way to the hilltop by episode 15. And everything leading up to the finale is going to be a stretched out storyline of the Battle of the Hilltop, involving mostly the TV show based characters like Simon. Anyways, those are my thoughts on what the TV show is doing with Negan. I've been really enjoying the episodes as things are ramping up to an amazing finale. Remember to subscribe, and thank you for watching.